My favorite American Godzilla film so far has been Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's been my favorite. I think Ghidorah was dope. I thought the Rodan stuff was cool. And Mothra, of course, is awesome, as we covered last time in Mothra vs. Godzilla. I was looking through the list of Godzilla movies, the movies that Godzilla's appeared in, and Ghidorah's title film was part of this. I was really excited. I was super excited for what this could hold, especially because Mothra vs. Godzilla was so good. I gave that 4 stars, which is insane for a Godzilla film of that time period. Even like the original Godzilla, I gave it 4 stars. I was looking forward to it because we already had the hype for Mothra vs. Godzilla. Ghidorah was one of my favorites from the American movies, and I was just super excited, super to discuss. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, is interesting because I don't think it's a serious film. I think this is actually a straight-up fucking comedy. I mean, it's an absurd idea in the first place, but Godzilla is an absurd idea, and you can make it serious as we've seen before in other movies. So kind of I was hoping for more of a serious take. With Mothra vs. Godzilla was a very serious take on Mothra and Godzilla's conflict. They had a message in the background that was super like important, and like it worked well with the story between Godzilla and Mothra. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, is weird. It has explained the background of Ghidorah being an alien monster, and that's cool in the first place, but the way they do it is so weird. They claim it's a Venus monster, so it was just like a weird thing that I wasn't really prepared for. I didn't really know that's where like Ghidorah came from, if he really did come from there, or he's just like kind of conqueror, you know. He's not trapped in ice, he's not doing anything like that. He just kind of shows up as a meteor in a group of 3, which I think the groups of 3 I think is really fun in this movie. Ghidorah is a group of 3 technically with the heads, the 3 meteors that landed first, Mothra, Rodan, and Godzilla being 3. The pictures of the princess at the beginning of the movie is 3. There's a lot of 3 imagery, and I really like it. It's a subtle hint to what we're about to get, even though you know what Ghidorah looks like. A Venusian alien lady takes over the body of a princess, and she makes these bold claims about what's coming in the future, what atrocities lay before us. And it's interesting. They had this like nice like appeal of like she's just faking it, and the health message that's not really like, it's kind of like touched on, but it's not really touched on. It's told, and then it's kind of like forgotten. And they had the bodyguard, her brother to a reporter, which I don't remember her name. Godzilla having so many leading ladies in these first few films is really like, I love that. That's awesome. That I don't know why it's not talked about more. Is that the women in these movies are put centerfold? I think that's awesome because I'm thinking we're watching movies in the '60s. This is gonna be a sausage fest, and the woman's gonna be useless. She's not gonna be any use to the story. She's gonna be just something for us to put our eyes on and for the male hero to fight over or protect or whatever. But the women in these films are very much in front, and they are integral to the plot. They matter in the end. They're not just a romance plot. They're added on to that towards like the end, I think. But in the end, they are the things that push the story forward. I think that's really unique, especially for this time period. But it's such a weird idea that to have to tell us, and it doesn't really, it can work seriously. I feel like it definitely could, but they play into this comedy aspect because instead of having this like this cool like fight over land versus science versus nature, whatever it was in Mothra vs. Godzilla, it's a spy thriller, like a James Bond type spy thriller. That's all I can think about was James Bond. It's an assassination plot from the rival kingdom or the rival families in whatever country the princess came from, and they're played off for jokes. And you know what? They are kind of funny. They are a unique set of bad assassins, but I don't really care for it. Like, it's a comedy plot. That's what it is. It is something to point and laugh at the end of the day. The final bit of the movie where Shindo has his face off with the final assassin that's left. But until then, they're played for laughs. The whole kind of plot for assassination is played as a comedy to me. Everyone's playing it straight though. That's another problem I'm having with this, is that it's such a comedic idea, and it seems like they're leaning into the comedy. This movie is kind of funny from time to time, but no one's playing it as a comedy. They're all playing it straight, and I don't really like that. I think it's such a weird aspect of things. And then we go back to like the main draw of the movie. What the main draw of the movies are the monsters in the end. And we have Rodan, which I haven't met before in this universe, and he sucks, just in general. Like, he's just bad. He gets clowned on all the fucking time. He's getting rocks thrown at him by Godzilla, which, again, Godzilla throwing rocks is a stupid idea, and it's played as comedy because it's a funny idea. It's a dumb idea, and it should be played as comedy. But this movie doesn't want to play it as comedy for whatever reason. But yeah, Godzilla and Rodan have this disagreement, and it's happened. Godzilla shows up around the halfway point, but they really don't get in that conflict for the last 30 minutes, and it's an hour 30-minute movie, so you have about 30 minutes between when Godzilla shows up and Rodan shows up that like they have this conflict that's not focused on for whatever reason. It's playing in the background essentially to the spy plot, and it's this weird like dichotomy between the two that it's whiplash essentially between them. They're both funny comedic ideas that are being presented here. It's a pterodactyl fighting a giant lizard, sure, and then you have this dumb spy thriller that's campy as fuck, and it for whatever reason, even though they are both comedic ideas, are whiplash. It doesn't feel like it's the same movie I'm watching. This is also has the storyline of like the twins from Infinite Island trying to get Mothra to help out when it comes to these things, comes to everything, and Mothra's not into her full beautiful moth form, and her little larva died at some point between this film. And again, it's just a weird combination of things where the larva has to now help out these two giant monsters fight this three-headed dragon. And again, they leave it, the lead up to Ghidorah showing up is awesome. They give a lot of stakes to Ghidorah, and it makes Ghidorah feel strong, feel powerful, that Godzilla wouldn't even be able to throw a fight against Ghidorah by himself, so he needs the additional help of Rodan and Mothra. Not that they know that, but they set up Ghidorah pretty well, and give the sense of terror that Ghidorah is supposed to. But Ghidorah shows up and then disappears for 20 minutes while we figure out this Godzilla-Rodan agreement, because they argue. Godzilla and Rodan argue about what their role should be in the upcoming, like, whatever Ghidorah wants to do, and Mothra has to convince them, and they have this argument that we can't hear, but we're having this, like, listening from the twins, and it's just an odd situation to be in, because it's like, why is Godzilla and the pterodactyl setting up terms for their agreement with the moth?
At first, I figured that the split was just something temporary, something that you two would work out and get past. But after tonight, I think it's pretty clear that you two genuinely do not want to get back together.
There's not a shot in hell.
Gary, I got you.
It's dumb. I don't hate this movie. I just think it's a weird idea to have a setup for a comedy and play it straight. And that can work a lot of times. I mean, some of the most popular comedians right now are comedians who play it pretty straight when it comes to things. It's very dry humor, but here it's not really dry humor. It's just kind of like normal people doing wild shit. And I don't know. I don't get the sense of appeal to that. Godzilla and Rodan agree to help Mothra fight Ghidorah after Mothra says, "Fuck you guys, I'm just gonna go kill myself," essentially, which honestly thought she did, because she shows up in town where Ghidorah is, and it immediately gets blasted, and it goes fucking flying. It's fucking funny every time I watch it. I don't know why. And it does it several more times. It's fucking hilarious. But the moment that she gets blown up, Godzilla and Rodan said, okay, well, maybe we'll actually help people out now for whatever reason. And I don't know. I don't really know if I like Godzilla as a protagonist. These last few movies where he's been the antagonist, I really prefer. Like, I think we haven't covered a movie where he's been a protagonist just yet, and I prefer him as the antagonist in these films. This film didn't give me the sense of heroism from Godzilla. It just really didn't click. And if it gets more dumb than this, I'm equally excited and equally scared for what the next few movies will be. It's a cool fight for the most part. I mean, some of it's just stupid, man. It's just dumb. Oh, I totally forgot to mention, one of my favorite fucking clips, or whatever, is in this movie. It's Rodan picking up Godzilla and just fly him over and just dropping his ass. Funny as fuck. Again, this movie's pretty fucking funny when it comes to the monsters. we don't focus on the monsters well enough. Again, there's a really cool moment where Godzilla helps drag Mothra to the actual battlefield where they're finding out it's not in town. And the moment they get to fight Ghidorah, Mothra gets blown up. It's too fucking funny. I hope I play both clips because I need you guys to see this to just enjoy it in its entirety. But the end of the movie is kind of just meh. They never really come to a conclusion. Ghidorah has been this massive threat throughout this movie that they've hyped up. And the way they defeat Ghidorah is throwing his ass over and then throwing rocks at him, and then he goes to fly away. This is an ending to a Pokemon episode where Team Rocket has now failed to steal Pikachu. Why? He's a threat. If you kill him, yeah, I get it. He's dead. You can't reuse him. And eventually, they're going to reuse him. I know that for sure. But like, I feel like that would be the only way to finish this movie is to kill Ghidorah because the three of them have teamed up. Now they can defeat Ghidorah, and him flying away just feels like it's we don't really want to kill him. We don't really have any idea of like where we can go if we do kill him. So we're just gonna keep him around and hope we can use him again at another point in time. And I really don't like that. And at this point in time, the princess has gotten grazed and she's no longer Venus, but she remembers parts of her time with Shindo, and again, it sets up this like romance subplot, I guess, in like 2020 vision in hindsight. Sure, but like, is she gonna come back as a Venusan? Is the Venusan still inside her? Did the Venusan leave after she got grazed by the bullet? I have no idea. I'm so confused about how this works because they don't really explain it. They don't really, touch on it besides more than she got grazed. Now she's back to normal. Sure, and she jokes, "Do I still have these powers? Will I ever have the powers of foresight ever again?" And she's like, "Nah, I don't know, man. Maybe." It's beyond my comprehension. And like, again, it makes sense in the context of things, but like, there's no explanation of where the Venusan is. Does she feel the Venusan? Like, there's things where I'm asking questions because it's such an absurd idea. I feel like those answers should be able to be answered here because of how absurd this movie has been. The hour and a half I've been watching. It's an okay movie. It's not a bad movie. I have it ranked higher than Godzilla Raids Again. I really did not like that movie. This movie, I gave it a 2.5. It's got 3.4 on Letterboxd, so I don't think I'm that too far off from a lot of people. I haven't read the reviews and why people liked it so much. I just felt like the comedy aspects weren't played up to the proper amount. No one really played this as a comedy. It played it too serious, and it made for this weird feeling throughout the movie. I just really didn't care for this. Which really upsets me because I really like Ghidorah. I think is a cool concept. I liked his portrayal in Godzilla King of the Monsters, where he's just kind of like the ultimate hater to Godzilla, and I think that's fucking fantastic. And we'll get to that in much later. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's so okay. Next week we will be catching back up with Resident Evil. We took a few weeks off of it so I could cover some other things I wanted to talk about. But next week we will be back with Resident Evil. Don't know which one it is. Don't know what. But until then, remember to like, subscribe, do whatever. Bye-bye.